Number 1. The most forgotten country on the map. New Zealand is so remote that even the world sometimes forgets it exists. Literally. This island nation, floating far out in the southwestern Pacific, is surrounded by vast oceans with its nearest neighbors Australia and Fiji thousands of kilometers away. That isolation has led to one peculiar phenomenon. New Zealand often gets left off world maps. From school textbooks to global institutions like the UN and museums in the US, people have spotted world maps where New Zealand is simply missing. To Kiwis, it's a running joke, but it also highlights just how far-flung this country truly is. And that's just the beginning. Because in this country, even the land itself can erupt beneath your feet. Number 2. Killer volcanoes and natural dangers. Most countries worry about the weather. New Zealand, they worry about volcanoes, over 50 of them, and some still very much alive, sitting right on the Pacific Ring of Fire. New Zealand is a hotspot for seismic activity. The government runs 24/7 volcano monitoring systems, yet even then, disaster can strike without warning. In 2019, the Waiakaʻi volcano erupted suddenly during a tourist visit. The result, 22 dead, dozens more injured, and a nation shaken. Despite these dangers, locals remain resilient. Living here means coexisting with nature's fury and respecting its unpredictability. But if you think volcanoes are intense, wait until you learn who really dominates the land in New Zealand. Number 3. Sheep rule. The land. New Zealand may have just over 5 million people, but it has over 25 million sheep. That's 5 sheep for every single person. Drive through the countryside, and you'll see hills blanketed in wool, sheep grazing in valleys, along highways. Even near city outskirts, it's like they own the place, but it's not just sheep. Add in cows, goats, deer, chickens, and wild animals, and you'll realize humans are the minority here. This imbalance shapes everything from the economy to exports, and even tourism. New Zealand is often praised for its clean environment, but in many ways, this is an animal kingdom where people just happen to live. And just when you think you're getting used to it, Christmas shows up with sunshine and surfboards. Number 4. Summertime. Christmas. Forget snowmen and hot cocoa in New Zealand. Christmas happens under the sun, located in the southern hemisphere. New Zealand's seasons are flipped, so while much of the world is shivering in December, Kiwis are hitting the beach in swimsuits, barbecuing under palm trees, and surfing on Christmas morning. It's not unusual to see Santa in board shorts or kids unwrapping presents beside the ocean. Some families even celebrate with picnics and seafood feasts by the shore. It's a tradition that feels almost rebellious to northern norms, but for New Zealanders, it's perfectly natural. And speaking of natural, the women here might just take your breath away. Number 5. Goddesses of the South. Kiwi women, New Zealand. Women aren't just beautiful, they're bold, independent, and full of surprises. With a mix of European elegance and Māori fierceness, many Kiwi women have sun-kissed skin, striking features, and athletic builds, but their charm goes beyond looks. They fix cars, run farms, captain boats, and travel solo across the world, often with nothing but a backpack and a dream in relationships. They're confident and direct. If they like someone, they might text first, ask you out, or even make the first move. Yet they're not in a rush. Marriage can wait, life comes first. They value freedom, equality, and adventure. And with a high rate of international couples, You might have more of a chance than you think, but beauty isn't their only strength. Power. 2. Lies in the hands of New Zealand's women. Number 6. Power of the Matriarchy. At one point in history, New Zealand was run entirely by women, and no one batted an eye. The Prime Minister, the Governor-General, the Chief Justice, and the Attorney General were all women. It wasn't a special campaign or gender quota, it just happened naturally. This speaks volumes about New Zealand's culture. Gender equality isn't a trend here, it's a way of life. Women are leaders in politics, science, farming, construction, even extreme sports. It's not about being strong like a man, but about being strong as themselves. And that attitude is nurtured from childhood. In New Zealand, girls grow up knowing they can be anything, and often they are. But the biggest culture shocks, they don't come from politics. They come from the streets, the shops, and even people's bare feet. Number 7. Barefoot culture and nose-to-nose greetings. In most countries, walking barefoot in public is weird. In New Zealand, it's totally normal. You'll see kids and even adults strolling into supermarkets, riding buses, or walking downtown with no shoes at all. Why? Because for many Kiwis, going barefoot means freedom and feeling closer to nature. With clean streets, minimal sharp objects, and no deadly snakes or scorpions, it's actually quite safe. But that's not the only cultural curveball. The indigenous Māori greeting, hongi, involves gently pressing your forehead and nose against another person's. It's a sacred gesture, symbolizing the sharing of the breath of life. It's not a casual hello, it's an invitation into the community. Just remember, don't try the hongi unless you're invited, and mean it with all your heart. New Zealand culture is warm, spiritual, and sometimes hilariously misunderstood, especially when their native language sounds like swearing. Number 8. Swearing like a local. The F word, normalized. Think New Zealanders are overly polite. Think again, they love the F word. In casual conversations, you'll hear it tossed around like punctuation, not out of anger, but as a way to express excitement, frustration, or just emphasis. It's so common that even TV interviews or public speeches might drop a few without anyone blinking. But it gets more interesting with the Maori language. Words like Wakapapa genealogy or Wakatani, a city name, are pronounced with an F sound, causing foreign ears to think they're hearing profanity. Spoiler, they're not swearing. It's just how the language works. The result, tourists often do double takes, unsure if they're being cursed at or welcomed. It's all part of New Zealand's brutally honest, no-filter culture. But not all surprises here are harmless. Some lurk in the shadows, dangerous, illegal, and very real. Number 9. Dark truth, drugs and ram raids. New Zealand is often ranked among the safest countries on Earth, but that's not the whole story. Behind its peaceful facade lies a growing issue with drugs, especially methamphetamine, despite being illegal. It's shockingly widespread, with tons smuggled in each year. Addicts sometimes go to desperate extremes, committing thefts and even violent robberies just to fund their next fix. One alarming trend is the ram raid, where criminals use cars to smash into store entrances and loot everything inside. In 2022 alone, police recorded over 500 of these attacks, double the previous year. Still, New Zealand's justice system is surprisingly rehabilitation-focused. Even serious offenders are offered education, healthcare, and re-entry programs, the idea reform, not revenge. Supporters call it humane. Critics say it's too soft. But either way, it's clear even paradise has its shadows. And sometimes, those shadows drive people to pack up and leave. Number 10. Why New Zealanders are leaving paradise. New Zealand is a dream for many: free healthcare, top-tier education, stunning landscapes. So why are more people than ever leaving? In 2024, a record-breaking 128,750 residents packed their bags and left. The reason: the cost of living is sky high. Housing prices are outrageous, over 11 times the average annual household income. Groceries imported and expensive. A liter of milk costs nearly twice as much as in the US. Meanwhile, wages haven't kept up. Many Kiwis feel like they're working harder but falling behind. Still, not everyone leaves. For some, clean air, peace of mind, and a slower pace of life are worth the price. But for others, even paradise starts to feel like a trap. And if the rising costs don't wear you down, the wind just might. Number 11. Wind, capital of the world. Wellington. Welcome to Wellington, the windiest capital city on Earth. Nestled between two main islands, this city acts like a natural wind tunnel. Sea breezes get squeezed through tight gaps in the terrain, blasting the streets with gusts strong enough to flip umbrellas, shake buses, and even force planes to turn around mid-landing. On some days, winds exceed 75 km/h. And that's not rare. It happens about 175 days a year. In extreme years, it's gone up to 233 days. But Kiwis don't just battle the wind, they embrace it. Wellington is also known as Wellywood, thanks to Weta Workshop, the world-famous studio behind The Lord of the Rings, Avatar, and Mad Max Fury Road. Add in world-class food, coffee, and craft beer, and Wellington becomes a wild mix of chaos and creativity. And when the wind finally calms, you might hear something else: absolutely nothing, because New Zealand nights can be eerily quiet. Number 12. Sleepy nights, secret vibes. Think nightlife in New Zealand is lit. Well, not exactly. In most towns, the streets go silent by 9 p.m. Cafes close early, supermarkets shut down, and neon lights are nowhere to be found. For many Kiwis, night is for rest, not revelry. Add high prices, limited public transport after dark, and long distances between suburbs and city centers, and going out just isn't worth the hassle. But that doesn't mean the nights are dead. Instead of packed clubs, locals gather at homes, sharing wine, good food, and deep conversation. It's cozy, warm, and very Kiwi. And in cities like Auckland, Wellington, or Queenstown, there's live music, late-night wine bars, lakeside night markets, and even vineyard movie screenings. It's not loud, but it's magical. Just don't expect to Uber home at 2 a.m. And if you're driving, good luck, because here comes another surprise. Number 13. Traffic jams in a low-population nation. With just over 5 million people, you'd think traffic in New Zealand would be a breeze. Wrong. This country has one of the highest car ownership rates in the world, more than 4 million vehicles. That's nearly 1 car per person. Why? Because public transport is, well, let's just say limited. After 11 p.m., buses and trains stop running, even in big cities. Schedules can be frustrating, so owning a car isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. To make things worse, many roads were never built for this volume. Narrow lanes, sharp turns, and a lack of highways mean traffic jams are common, especially in places like Auckland or Wellington. But here's the twist. Those same roads offer some of the most scenic drives on Earth. You might be stuck, but you'll be staring at snow-capped mountains, turquoise lakes, or ocean views. Still, beautiful or not, the road can take you to places that are, well, mysteriously unexplainable. Number 14. Unexplained Mysteries and Myths. Some parts of New Zealand feel like they belong in a fantasy novel and no one can fully explain them. Take the Matriarchy boulders, for example. Perfectly round. Massive stone spheres just lying on a beach like they were dropped by giants. Scientists say they formed naturally over millions of years, but locals have legends, ancient baskets, gourds, and treasures from a Maori canoe, all turned to stone by the sea. Then there's Lake Tarawera, peaceful by day, eerie by night. Visitors report hearing mysterious paddling sounds or deep drums coming from beneath the water. Yet no boats are in sight, no people, no explanation. Geologists offer theories: underwater caves, echoes, shifting rocks. But the sounds don't follow natural patterns, and no one has captured a solid answer in a country full of natural wonders. Some things still refuse to be understood, and if you plan to explore these places, you'd better be ready. Because New Zealand travel requires some very unusual survival tips. Number 15. Crazy useful travel tips you've never heard in New Zealand. The weather can change faster than your mood. Sunshine at breakfast, thunderstorms at lunch, icy winds by dinner. Locals call it the 4 seasons in one day effect, so pack layers always. Another thing, UV radiation here is brutal. Even on cloudy days, you can get sunburned in under 20 minutes. Bring high SPF sunscreen and a wide-brimmed hat, or risk walking around like a lobster. Heading outdoors. Know this. New Zealand's nature is sacred. Many trails require bookings months in advance, and you'll be fined heavily if you litter even a candy wrapper. Oh, and don't forget the sandflies, tiny. Evil insects that bite like they're getting paid. Locals never hike without insect repellent. One last pro tip: never try to bring honey into the country. Customs will confiscate it instantly to protect New Zealand's famous Manuka bees. Plan smart. Respect the land, and New Zealand will give you the adventure of a lifetime. New Zealand isn't just stunning, it's strange, shocking, and full of surprises. From barefoot greetings and volcano warnings to mysterious lakes and women who lead nations. This country flips the script on what you think life should be. It's a place where opposites collide, wild yet peaceful, simple yet complex. New Zealand doesn't just challenge your expectations, it redefines them. This isn't just another destination, it's a world of its own. Which fact blew your mind the most? Have you been to New Zealand, or do you dream of going? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your travel-loving friends.